the Nintendo Switch of '87. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Sketch. Today, and only today, we are actually here to talk about Nintendo Switch first-party platformers. You know, we're what, 5 years into this console's life. We've gone a lot of platformers. We just got Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and it's gonna be a while, I'm pretty sure, until the next one. I'm not sure right now. I mean, it could be closer than we think, but at the moment, we don't have a first-party platformer that we know about. And I thought, you know what, it would be a fun idea if we went over the ones that have come out and talk about them. But before that, of course, sub to your boy. Thank you for all the support on all the new content we've been putting out lately. Here, well, I've been putting it out lately, but obviously you guys have been providing the hype and energy for it. But yeah, so I thought this would be a fun idea. We'll check them out, talk about them and all that stuff. And of course, you can let me know your favorites down below. Now, shockingly, there is not that many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tabs of different platformers, which is still a lot. Some are ports, obviously, but I'm keeping this purely first party. So this is like purely Nintendo's games, because obviously if we listed indies, we'd be here forever. Go check out all the amazing indie games. There's like a billion that you can get your what's it called, your Shovel Knights, your Cupheads, technically, your what's it called, your ukuleles, your Katana Zeros, whatever you want. But for what I'm gonna do for this one is actually, I'm going to talk about pure platformers. So no Metroid Dread, where it's like there's platforming, but it's more of an action game slash Metroidvania. I'm not counting Splatoon, because even though the campaign has platformer elements, it's still at its core a shooter. I'm not gonna count Captain Toad, because it's more of a puzzle game with platforming elements. So I'm keeping it to the pure platformer. So let's go ahead and start talking about it. So the first up I have on this list here for us to talk about is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So obviously this game is a port of a Wii U game, and this game has had such a weird rep for a while now, because it's sort of been, you know, it was another entry in the Mario New Super Mario Bros. Franchise, when people were sort of getting tired of it. But no one can deny it, at the very least, that it is a very polished and fun Mario game. Like, at the end of the day, if you can get in a, I really do think the optimal way to play this game is with friends. You know what I mean? I think, yeah, you can play it on, wait, where the fuck did my music go? My playlist ended. I feel like you can play it online, or you can't play it online. You can play it locally with friends, but I feel like alone you definitely feel the emptiness a bit of how vast the areas are with not much to do except for, you know, get the 3 star coins. But playing with the gang is really fun, but it's hard to do nowadays. I wish this one had online multiplayer. I feel like people would enjoy this game a bit more if it had online co-op, where like you could actually definitively go about playing with your friends whenever and all that stuff. Because for now, a lot of people didn't necessarily enjoy this, and the port itself doesn't really add much. Besides, I would say the thing this game created is bigger than the game itself. I really think the creation of Bowsette, which was like Toadette, Bowsette, Peachette, whatever the fuck you want, whatever Peachette was in this game that spawned Bowsette, ended up being bigger than this game. But again, still a very fun platforming Mario game. As someone who's a big fan of all of these games, I just think it's a good game, and I just think it's polished. I think it's fun. I think it's well designed, and I think people give it a little too much hate because it's just another 2D Mario, but the Luigi U expansion in it is really good. The challenges, underrated aspect of this game are the extra challenges you get. There's a challenge menu where you can do these missions and all that stuff, and that part of the game is actually, I feel like, where a lot of the fun challenge comes from. So I do still think it is a very fun, good port of a game. But our next game, of course, the one and only Super Mario Odyssey. That's it, Super Mario Odyssey. I still think this is the best platformer on Switch, bar none. I still think it is the best 3D Mario game by far, and there's a lot of reasons. First of all, the platforming, just pure perfection. The movement in this game is unlike any platformer I've ever played before. Like, the way, first of all, Mario controls, just doing a jump, tossing Cappy, doing the dive into Cappy to get a jump off him, then doing another toss into a jump roll. Like, that's so satisfying. You know, the back jump is satisfying. All the movement options you have are satisfying. And then you have all these capture mechanics you have in the game to just get new things. You know what I mean? Like, look at these. The platforming ways are super good. The way you can, you know, control different enemies to still give you all the power-ups. The kingdoms themselves, man, I love them. I love the Luncheon Kingdom, the Sand Kingdom, the Wooden Kingdom. I just think the locations are so weird and fun and like out there, and there's so many things to discover with this game. And I know a lot of people's problem nowadays that come up with it 5 years later is that there is a lot of fluff, which I agree with. This is one of the few Mario games where the second or third time going about it, I was like, do I really want to 100% it again? Because getting all the moons can be a little annoying, especially when it's the little ones, like just stomp on the floor to get one. But for the most part, the platforming is so good. How quick paced it is super good. The challenges are dope. Exploration is awesome. I just think this is still everything I want from a Mario game, and that's why I wanted Odyssey 2 so badly, because it really is just special, and it's really well made, and it's full of heart, and it's so happy, it's so fun, and it tries a lot of cool things for Mario, and I just adore it so much. I still think it is the peak Switch game for me personally, and the peak Mario game. Next up, we got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze Deluxe Edition Funky Kong mode. Man, again, what left is there to say about this game? I mean, it is one of the best platformers in general for 2D platformers. It's so well designed. It's so fun. Like, the music is fantastic. I think what's cool about this game is it does the thing that I always love what I love the most about platformers is, even though it sticks to a world formula, the levels sort of dynamically change. You know, there's so much going on in the backgrounds. You feel like every level puts its almost unique mechanic, unique spin on it. There's so much content. It's challenging too. Like, that's why obviously DKC, Tropical Freeze, and Returns are challenging platformers that I really love. And the movement in Donkey Kong is so different than Mario. You know, like, you've got your roll jumps, you've got your Diddy Kongs, you've got your Dixie Kongs that help you up exploring the environment. You have the Kong letters you find, you have the extra levels. I just think really dope stuff. Now, in terms of the Switch version, not really much. Like, I think this is one of the weaker ports in terms of like what they added for content. You basically got an easy mode, which, you know, as cool as Funky Kong is, I don't necessarily want to play the game in easy mode, so it was a thing that I barely really went with. But again, just in terms of a game available on the Switch from Nintendo's first party, still really good, still really amazing. I love this game, and if you haven't played it, check it out. All right, now this one, Yoshi's Crafter World. Let me tell you, man, I don't know what people's problem is with this game. And it's like, I love this game. And no one really knows this or even talks about this game. They forget it even exists. A lot of you are going to be like, oh yeah, this game came out. I'm telling you guys, this game, if it reminds me so much of why I loved Kirby's Epic Yarn, which is, it is purely a relaxing game that is just about the level design and inventiveness of the world. Now, I will say replay value kind of I'm not a big fan of, like, you know, the thing where you can reverse play the level, even though I still think it's a fun idea. It's not something I necessarily want to do every time, but in terms of just the level variety, the level design, the unique mechanics they throw at you all the time, I just think like this game was so wonderful for me. Like, look, everything, it looks like just some kid crafted it in his place. You know what I mean? Like, everything, the way everything is strung together, like, it just feels like there's a language to the level design. And I thought, to me, that's what spoke to me the most about the game. And the movement felt good. There's just so much creativity and fun in this game. I really think this game is underrated. And if you haven't played it and you can afford to just check it out, I really think you should check it out. It's genuinely a fun ass game, man. It's really, 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 really good. I love this game so much. So that's also one of my highlights. Now, of course, going back to the Mario area, we've got Super Mario Maker 2. Mario Maker, I mean, we all love Mario Maker 1 and 2. I know a lot of people's issue with this game, and I understand this one, was the way they sort of rolled out content was really weird. I mean, this was a prime game that should have gotten content over time. This should have been like, hey, every few months, here's some new items, here's some new themes, here's some new mechanics. Instead, what they opted to do was sort of, hey, let's pack everything we want to from the beginning. Here's your slopes, here's your new theme with 3D World, here's pretty much a shit ton of different options you can do, and new options and new upgrades and all this stuff. And they sort of went quiet. The only things they added to the game that were actually pretty notable were a world editor, which was really awesome, but it came so late in the game's life that it ended up not being used too much, but I actually really loved it. And it still has search functionality issues. Like, it's just, finding a level is not fun. Like it really is annoying. Finding a good level in the game is really not an enjoyable experience unless you dig deep in the internet to find them, you know. And I think especially now, like, I just wish Nintendo curated a playlist of people's best levels. I wish it was easier to find, you know, worlds that were good. I just wish there was so many easier ways to find levels, but that's always going to be a problem with level editor games in general. Just finding stuff is gonna be hard, but I wish that was better, because I mean, it's literally endless Mario levels, and to me that sounds like the dream. But searching through a pile of shitty levels to find one good one sort of burns you out over time. But I still think the time I spent with it was really fun. I made a lot of levels. When this game was hot, it was really fun, because you know, you have people, you have like people are trying out your levels and all this stuff, and I love this game. I think it's really good. I think the campaign is also really underrated. I think it's a fun Mario campaign. You get a lot of upgrades in the areas, a lot of good, well-made design levels from Nintendo. So really dope stuff. Really love this game overall. Next one, of course, another Mario. Well, we've got here Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This is another port. 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I mean, this game, awesome. I really love 3D World. I think I've always had an issue with 3D World, and I think where it comes up especially is in the next game, is in one of the later games we're going to talk about. But yeah, Mario 3D World, I still think very polished, fun Mario game. I think what's so unique about this game is, even though you have different worlds, they break a lot of that structure. Every level feels like it's its own unique roller coaster with its own unique mechanics, unique idea, unique area, and all of this stuff. And I think that's one of my highlights about the game. Music is super good. The upgrades are really fun. You got the cat mushroom, you got the double cherry, you got a lot of fun ones. Finding the green stars is really fun. The pose game in this game is definitely a highlight. You get these really fun, challenging versions of a lot of the levels. You know, you get the Champions Road, which is really good, and all that. And this game added online. That to me was one of the best things, right? Platformers need to be online nowadays, right? And the fact that we have it here, but we don't have it in Mario Bros. U, we don't have it in Kirby Forgotten Land, and it's dog shit in Mario Maker 2. This game, the online worked really well. I had a great time. It was well designed, all that stuff. So I was really happy with it, and I had a shit ton of fun playing with friends. I still love it. And of course, you have in it the new Bowser's Fury content, which is most of the 3D Mario we've gotten past. What's it called? This is the most Mario we've gotten basically past why am I losing my mind, Odyssey, for a new Mario. And I thought this was awesome, man. Bowser's Fury was sort of like, what if we start experimenting with what the future of Mario is, which is not just these big kingdoms, but like an open world, essentially. You know, open world level size map. You have an inventory system. You have areas you can't clear yet. I thought that was super cool. And the Fury Bowser mechanic was really awesome. You have this giant kaiju Bowser coming at you, attacking you. I thought that was so sick. We all do. I think that's one of the best parts of the game for sure. And I just think super well designed, super well made. Really happy with how Bowser's Fury turned out and how fun it was. And I just want more of him, and I want that to be an idea they expand on, not necessarily in Odyssey 2, but maybe in like what the future is. I think Mario as a platformer going open world adventure and it becoming a giant obstacle course sounds awesome to me. So that's an awesome one. Of course, we have 3D All-Stars. Listen, not much to say here. It's Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy. They're fun to play. Obviously, you know, not really easy to find unless you get a physical copy because they're not available digitally. Shitty in that sense. Not really any kind of new content here. It's just the games. I guess you get widescreen Sunshine. I'm really happy that I have it just because I love these Mario games. I love Sunshine. I love Galaxy. And being able to play Galaxy with, you know, a controller felt really good. So yeah, I mean, it's 3D All-Stars. We all know what's going on there. And then, of course, the final two, we have Kirby Star Allies. So Kirby Star Allies, the precursor to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I think this game is very fun. I don't adore this game. I think, first of all, it has some technical issues where it chugs a little bit when there's a lot going on. I wish it was 60 FPS, but I think the team can't do it with the Switch hardware, because so far this game and Forgotten Land were not. But I thought this game was fun. I actually want to go back to it now that we've played through Forgotten Land. I still think this game was just this game was a little too safe. You know, I think the DLC added a lot, which is what a lot of people talk about. And I respect that. I like that the DLC added stuff, but at the core game itself, the platforms and levels and stuff, they're fun. Like, I think some of the cool new power-ups are really good. Like, you got web, you got the stick one, you've got a few others in there. And I think really just fun Kirby game overall. And the big hook of this game is the friendship ally ability, where you could sort of do these big hits or big moves. And I think they were fun, but they sort of felt very automated, not too liberating. But in terms of just content, man, like I said, the most amount of side playable characters, A lot of love put into the game. Just pure fun platformer. Really nothing too notable of it. But I do want to play it again now that it has all the content and everything in it. So yeah, man, I still think Star Allies, very fun Kirby game. One of the better platformers available on Switch. And of course, you know, you can kiss the homies and all that stuff. So that's always worth it. And of course, our latest release, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Obviously, I mean, I just talked about this game. I reviewed it. I think, especially after doing the post game, I think this is the best Kirby game. I think in terms of the crazy hype moments you get late game, it's worth. There's basically 3 hype endings to the game. You know, the main game, the post game, and the final arenas. I think those are 3 hype ass endings. I love the power up upgrades. I love the environments, the level design, the replay value, time trial challenges, everything. I think this game just is incredible, and it felt like it took the series forward, but it nailed it so early on, and I can't wait to see where this team goes if they do more of this and all of that. But yeah, I think Kirby Forgotten Land, fantastic game, and one of the best platformers available on the Switch, man. So yeah, of course, I adore this game, and I adore a lot of these, and I think so far the output has been great. I think it's been more of like, obviously, in terms of new, like pure new ones, we got Mario Maker 2, Odyssey, Star Allies, Forgotten Land, Yoshis Crafter World, and aside from that, it's been ports. But some of the ports are really good. You know, you got Biosphere with stuff. But I think so far it's been a matter of they've been really quality. You know, and I think Forgotten Land is a perfect peak for Kirby on Switch. You got Mario Odyssey, but I think a lot of people want more. You know, they want Donkey Kong to have its moment. I was gonna include Luigi's Mansion, but a lot of people consider that more of an action game. But yeah, man, I just think awesome stuff overall. I'm really happy with it. I would say my 3 favorites would really be, if we count ports and all that stuff, it would have to be, in no order, Forgotten Land, Mario Odyssey, and I'm gonna say, I would say 3D World plus Biosphere, because I had an amazing time playing that with friends, and the Biosphere content was really good. But Crafter World really close. Guys, let me know your favorite Nintendo first-party Switch games. Which ones do you still think need a better entry? Which one do you want to see a new entry? And of course, let me know, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out. I love you. Bye.